Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lumipalooza 2026. I am Malak, and today I'm absolutely thrilled to co-host this amazing session uh, from passive to active, boosting engagement with Lumio, with the wonderful teacher Ghina Chebli. So before we hand over the stage to Ms. Ghina, I want to welcome everyone joining us live right now, um, and as well as everyone turning this recording later on from all around the world. So we got an incredibly session lined up for you today, and I promise you will walk away with the ideas you can bring directly into your classrooms. So just a quick reminder, Lumipalooza is a free global professional learning event led by inspiring educators from across the globe. So today's session is being recorded, so we will receive all the recording via email early next week. And we will also be dropping important links in the chat throughout the session, including the feedback survey at the end. So it's very important so you can claim your certificates. Okay. Since today is all about active engagement, we want you to experience the session as a student. So you can join Ms. Rina through the lesson code, and we will drop it in the chat, or you can just scan the QR code when Ms. Rina starts her lesson. So also don't forget to share your favorite moments with us on social media with hashtag Lumipalooza 2026 and Go Lumio. And yeah, let's begin. Ms. Rina, stage is yours.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Ghina Chebli, and today we're going to discover a wonderful digital tool called Lumio. Our session is called From Passive to Active, Boosting Engagement with Lumio. By the end of this session, you will know how to transform your PowerPoint presentations, PDFs, and lessons into interactive experiences. Before we learn about Lumio, let's think about our classrooms. Have you ever noticed that students lose focus after only a few minutes? In 10 minutes, you notice that students lose their focus? If yes, please type yes in the chat box. Research shows that when students only listen, their attention starts to decrease. However, when students participate, answer questions, move objects, or collaborate, they remember more and stay engaged. This is exactly where Lumio will help us. So, today, let's compare between two teaching styles, the active learning and the passive learning. The active learning is where students answer questions, create new ideas, collaborate. The teacher can use different styles in order to reach the students and to accommodate their needs. While in teacher-centered approach, the students, they kept on sitting, watching, listening, and they do not do a lot of activities. So for this reason, we notice as teachers that active learning keeps students on task. Active learning encourage and help students to interact all together in order to accept other friends or colleagues' ideas and opinions, and they do a lot of group works. Sometimes, of course, we need some individual work or per work, but they also collaborate all together in order to make a specific project or something that at the end of the lesson they will have a specific product. While in teacher-centered approach, the teacher is the center of the teaching learning process, where she designed the lesson, explained the lesson, and guide for the activities, and the students' participation is very minor in the session. So for this reason, that new trend in education encourage teachers to implement and employ a student-centered approach, because it's more effective for the students and keep them engaged. And at the same time, it helps in enduring understanding, it helps in mitigating behavior issues in the class, and also active learning gives more opportunities for students to learn and explore, and this helps them to achieve more, and they helps them to improve in their learning. Lumio is the help for the teachers and for the students at the same time, because it's a friendly digital tool for the teacher and for the student, because this web page digital learning tool sparks engagement. And now we will see how this tool will help the teacher in activating active learning in the class. Before we start exploring Lumio, let's introduce this digital tool. First of all, it is a web-based digital catalyst. Its importance that it is flexible, where students can easily access Lumio. They only need the class code, and they directly can join the class from any tablet or laptop or Chromebook. And the most important about it, that it has dual pacing engine, which means that you can switch between student pace and teacher pace. The student pace, where they can navigate and switch between the lesson and according to their pace and their needs. And also at the same time, the teacher also can, while she's explaining the lesson, she can keep the students on the slide with her without giving them the permission to navigate. So this is very exciting with Lumio. At the same time, we can see that Lumio can leverage what you already have as a teacher. I know that most of the teachers, they are really very worried because they have their own lesson plans, their own materials, and sometimes they feel that they are overwhelmed and they don't want to start from the scratch. So some digital tool require that the teachers start preparing the lesson on the tool itself. On Lumio, the case is different, where you can use your own material, your own lessons, your own presentations, and PDFs. Everything you can upload it on Lumio, import all the material, and at the same time, Lumio will help you also in order to improve these materials through AI, because the AI engine is really very effective on Lumio. So you can enhance the material and enrich the presentations, and then you can share it with your students in order to make the most benefit out of it. So we talked about the teacher-led mode, the student-led mode, the dynamic switching, and the AI assistant in Lumio, where you can, Lumio can help you to make most of the work. You can only give it the prompt, and it can generate everything you need, from quizzes, from flashcards, or any kind of activities. For example, brainstorming activities and different kinds of games, and we will experience these games now together. So some kind of games that we can use in Lumio, monster quiz, super sort, match them up. Before I start these games, I would like to explore Lumio with you. Let's start identifying these icons here, where you can find, for example, this pen, where you can use it to write. Once the teacher shared an empty screen, which called the board, with the students, where they can put their ideas. This is the eraser where they can erase and edit their answers, and also they can type. And the most interesting that they can use also some visuals like stickers, like pictures, sometimes links, or they can also record their voices if you have any of the special needs student or learning disabilities in your class. So they can, and they are not able to write or participate in writing, they can either draw or they can record their voices in order to share their ideas. So Lumio gives opportunity for all the students to participate and to give their ideas and their opinions. Okay, so this is very nice. Also, this icon, when you press it, you find that it gives you opportunity to prepare activities for individual participants, or maybe you want group work activity, or you want the whole class to participate with you. And the most important that you have this kind of videos that introduce the whole activity for you. So if you are new to Lumio and you want to explore it by yourself and you want to learn independently how to work on Lumio, you can press the video and you can watch how these activities work and how you can make the most of it. So also here, as we said, the students can record their voices. They can also hear their answers before they share it. So these items are really very important for the students and for the teacher as well, because it facilitates the activities for the students, and at the same time it's make it easy for the teacher to prepare such activities. For the whole collaborative workspace, this is really very interesting, because instead of being as a teacher, the whole work will be depending on your effort. So you can manage it between you and your class, where you can design the class or plan the activity, and the students will take the lead and they can brainstorm their ideas. They can also edit their peers' work. They can solve some problems in the class. So it's a good idea for collaborative learning. Also, I'd like to share with you that Lumio helps in assessing students' understanding, and where you can prepare some hints about what kind of assessment you're gonna do with your students. And also this is really very important, because once you have this kind of assessment, you will be able to know your students and know the level of your class and know who is really excelling in your class and who is really needs support. So you can prepare the activities and the ideas that will help those students to excel and participate according to their level and according to their needs. And here we're talking about differentiation. So you see that Lumio is really very beneficial for regular students, for talented students, and for slow learners. This is really very interesting, and it is also not only for languages. We have a good part for the STEM subjects like math, sciences, physics, and engineering designs tools. We will see and we'll discover together how I'll show you now. I'll take the chance in order to show you how Lumio can help you. And for example, FET, which is you can see ready-made lessons for physics or math according to your subjects, where you can prepare some activities for these subjects. Also, we can find some activities related to math, for example, where they can calculate, use a different kind of calculators in order to maybe you need to prepare some activities for advanced students about calculations. Also, I would like to share with you how you can import from this, you press this icon, you import the ready-made lesson from your computer, from your drive, any kind of lesson, maybe it's a PDF or a notebook file. You can import it from this icon. Maybe you have it on your library. Maybe you prepare it on a specific file. You can import it and you can share it. And you can share it on the Lumio lesson, where you can share it with your students and do whatever kind of activities. Also, you can embed content in your Lumio lesson. Some activities that will help the teacher to assess and to make some activities. Let's start with Shout It Out. Shout It Out, here is an activity where the students can share their ideas. For example, you're talking about brainstorming or a new concept and you want to categorize the students' answers according to specific areas in your lessons, or you want them to give you a randomized answers. Here in this options, you have independent mode, live in class, what kind of participation you want. You want them to be independent or you want it directly in your class. What kind of text, you want it text or you want it images. You want the students to show their names or to hide their names. Everything you have here and you can use it. And here is the icon that help you learn about this kind of activity. Also, I can share with you now game-based activities. We have different games here in Lumio, ready-made for you. You only need to fill with your content, with your according to your subject matter. Maybe you have fill in the blanks. You're teaching about some kind of vocabulary or some kind of terms in any subject. You write the prompt here. For example, the boy has a red cap. Okay, then you want to sorry. You want to highlight some words that you need the students to fill in, and then you say that you want to, for example, the and okay. You say that I want to highlight this word. So this is the word that you want to highlight. Then it appears for the students that these words are missing and they can fill with according to their understanding. So this is fill in the blank activity. Another kind of activity that we can share with you, match them up. For example, if you want the students to match, for example, any kind of picture by word, picture by picture. So you put here, for example, I want to make categorization according to colors. For example, here the red and here the yellow. And then here you can find some pictures on the web. Maybe you have it on your files in the computer or on the web. So you can select the images that you want. Maybe you have it in your computer, you can select it. Maybe you want to find it online. So you say, for example, apples, and you can search for apples on the web, and the web can provide you with different kinds of pictures, and you choose the picture that suits your activity and your class and whatever you want. So everything is ready here. Another kind of game-based activities, let's say, the most important is that AI will help you to generate activities. So you need only to give the prompt, okay, and everything will appear here according to your interest, according to your students' interest, according to your, let's try Monster quiz together. This is an assessment. You can use it for an assessment. The nice thing that you adjust it according to your class, you accommodate it according to your students' needs. Maybe you want it true or false or multiple choice. You want it for what grade level? Kindergarten, grade 1, 2, or 3. Let's say kindergarten, you want only 3 questions. You want it in English or in Arabic or any other language. And this is really very good. You want it to meet Common Core state standards, or what kind of curriculum you're using, the strand that you want, level of complexity. Is it easy? Is it intermediate, advanced, or mixed? So you put here, for example, the prompt that you want, for example, the square has 4 equal sides, okay? And you say generate 3 questions, and it is directly generated for you, and you can review the questions. For example, if you have a square, how many sides does blah blah blah? Why are all the sides of a square the same? Which shape has 4 equal sides? And then you if you want to make to provide different kind of questions, you give according to your prompt it gives you. So you can add or edit. So this is a really very effective and nice tool to use with your class. What is really interesting here, that in traditional assessment or formative assessment, you need to use paper pencil work, and you need to collect the work and assign a time in order to check students' understanding and to find out who is answering and understanding the concept and who is not, and where you need to reteach. Through Lumio, you can directly do this with your class. So it's very instant according to what the kind of activity you want. You can see who is excelling, who is understanding, and who is really needs support and need more practice and more drills in order to understand the concept. So this is the most interesting part, and it's very common for all people to use Lumio because it's not complicated at all. You need only to sign in to Lumio to add your activities, import your slides or your lessons, use AI assistant to create your games and activities, and then share the link with your students where they can start implementing the activities and lessons and practice and learn independently and within groups. So that's my lesson. I want to share with you the presentation, the class code, in order to see together how we can use Lumio from teacher's perspective and from students' perspective. This will give you opportunity to practice Lumio also lively, and ask questions if you have any kind of questions about Lumio, about the activities, about how to use it, about what kind of materials you can use. Okay, so I can answer.
Ms. Ghina, my question for you is, with that many interactive templates and activities available on Lumio, how can a teacher choose the right activity for the right lesson objective without overwhelming or distracting the students? And how do we find the perfect balance between fun and learning?
Of course, because Lumio already has different kinds of samples of activities. So the teacher can choose according to the subject matter of learners. At the same time, she can prepare something special for her class if she see that she needs something specific for a particular group of students. So it's very flexible. It's a flexibility make it is very easy to use and adjustable, and fits all the needs of the learners and the different learning styles. How to create balance between learning and fun. Of course, what we are doing here is all about learning. It's not, of course, it's about something interesting for the students. but it's all about learning. So we are bringing learning into a fun way. We are bringing learning into play-based approach in order to make it accessible and interesting for the students, to attract their attention and keep them on task. So Lumio is the key for these two components, for learning and for fun. So these two components help the students to excel and improve in their results and keep them on task. And as I mentioned before, it mitigates the behavior problems, the concentration issues, and it improves and fosters the group work and collaborative learning and understanding, and improve learning results, and facilitate different kind of learning, facilitate activities for different learners styles.
Awesome. طيب Miss Ghina, another question is because the passive and posting engagement with Lumio contain a lot of features and activities that we would love to know more, and the teachers for sure. Uh, in another word, how can we use these different activities types to make sure we are reaching students with a different learning style or piece in the same lesson?
In fact, this is the role of the teacher to know her students. And the teacher will know her students once she starts assessing them and noticing them, and measure their interest according to the different kind of activities that she's providing. Passive learning, the most concern about passive learning is with the approach that say that one size fits all. So that is the most issue about passive learning. In fact, learning is not one size fits all, and this is proved. And research talk a lot about, and discussed a lot about how learning is should be adjustable, and we cannot provide one size fits all for all students. In fact, we should design the activities and the lessons that includes different kind of learning styles, different kinds of activities according to students' intelligence, according to their learning profile, according to their interest, according to their according to their different kind of styles. So we need to prepare lessons that can reach and will be interesting for all students.
Thank you so much, Miss Rina. Okay, so before we wrap up, we've been the survey link in the chat. Okay, so please take a quick moment to fill it out. We would love to hear your feedback and also how you will receive your official attendee certificates. Thank you once again, Ms. Rina. And a massive
Welcome.
thank you
Thank
to
you for your
everyone who
time.
joined anytime. And thank you also for everyone who joined us live today, and to everyone watching the recording. Have an amazing rest of day and enjoy the other session at Lumio Palooza 2026. And we will see you next time.
Thank you.